the webinar?
We are now.
Beautiful. It's up and it's running. And I'm also letting you know that, Susan, I'd like to have this webinar broadcast live on Facebook as well. So I'll get you to do the setting. And I've got a wonderful, nothing makes me happier than when I can speak to real estate agents about getting listings. Nothing makes me happier, because in my 40 years of real estate, Warwick, the number one thing out of everything, it's not how do I build my personal brand? It's not what's that best script or dialogue? It's not how do you beat your competitors and get a higher fee? The simple thing, the most common thing I am asked over and over again is, I want an opportunity to pitch for a listing. The victory is pitching for the business, not winning the business. Pitching the business is where you want to be. And I got to tell you that Local Agent Finder many years ago was seen as the dark side. Hey, they're going to charge you for a lead. But what's happened is over the last 3-4 years, we're seeing a group of real estate agents that are often regarded as the best real estate agents in Australia are increasingly saying Local Agent Finder is providing for me X amount of leads every month. And today we're going to have joining us the great Aaron Hill, who many of you know him because of my relationship with him on the Real Estate Gym and on the Block, which he's also part of in 2025. He's been the victor of the Block for the last 2 years in a row, all the way from Sunbury. And I particularly, Warwick, wanted to have Aaron in because Aaron typified the skeptical agent who didn't know too much about it, thought, oh yeah, it'll be some weak leads that won't end up becoming something. But in fact, everyone, let me give you an interesting stat. Local Agent Finder data is very clear. 2 out of every 3 people that contact an agent via Local Agent Finder are going on the market and selling within 90 days. 66% are going to be putting their home on the market. We're not talking about soft price updates. We're not talking about people that are doing due diligence to put their home on the market in 3 years. We're talking about immediate sellers. That's what we're talking about. And I've got with me today as my 2 co-hosts, Warwick, one of the executives of Local Agent Finder, and Aaron Hill from Ray White, Sunbury. Good to see you all. How are we?
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm all good.
Good, thanks. Good, Tom.
And you're both in Melbourne. You're both in Melbourne. And I will be in Melbourne. When?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Is that right? No, I'm in Brisbane. No, I'm in Brisbane and Melbourne tomorrow. I'm going to Brisbane and then I'm going to Melbourne tomorrow as well. So tomorrow night. So firstly, Warwick, can I just confirm? I haven't got those numbers wrong. 2 out of 3 are coming onto the market, correct?
Yeah, that's correct, Tom. 2 out of every 3 go to market within 90 days. And I mean, for us, that's one of the things we concentrate on as a business, to make sure that the quality is good. If you can prove to the industry and to our real estate agents that the quality is good and they're going to market, then that's all they're after. As you said earlier, they want an opportunity to present. We feel we can give them that.
Okay. And one other stat that's interesting, like, I mean, Ray White is the #1 group in terms of size in Australia and New Zealand. I mean, the numbers are black and white. In fact, I'm going to do a webinar. I've actually got forecasts of what each network's numbers are. Ray White is the #1, and it's a clear winner. It's not close. However, I find it interesting, Warwick, that for every 40 signboards one of those has come from Local Agent Finder. 1 in 40 listings are sold by homeowners via an agent on Local Agent Finder. Is that another statistic that I haven't got wrong?
No, that's also correct. 1 in 40 is correct. Yep.
Okay. So, Aaron, you got the block on in how long? 4 weeks, isn't it?
5 weeks away, in 9th of November. 9th of November.
And you know the night that we're filming the video next week there?
Yes, VLP night next week on the 16th of October. That's right.
Guess what? I found out that night, pretty much everyone that's going to the motor race there.
Is that week, I believe. Yeah.
It's that week, that night. They actually go in there on the Wednesday night. So it'll absolutely be chaos and there'll be a big buzz there. So can I ask you, with 5 weeks to go before the block, the marketing has just started?
So it starts this week, yep. That's it. It's all sort of up and running. First opens this Sunday.
Okay. And everyone's hoping for Adrian Portelli and Danny, the 2 main buyers, being there, eh?
Well, I hope that works out for all the homes, but we'll soon see what happens, I believe, in a few weeks' time.
Okay. So, Aaron, can you tell me what's your relationship with Local Agent Finder? What's the experience been like, and how is it compared to what you thought? Because you were always a little bit against these referral sites, you know, for lots of reasons, price, what have you.
Yeah, look, I was in my old previous company. We didn't really do a lot of referral sort of sites, and I've opened my own office 3 years ago, as you know, Tom, and Kerry came to me about 1.5 years ago, and I was still a bit not sure about it all, but since then they've got a good relationship, and we picked up a few properties where we probably shouldn't have got. There's no one knows us in Sunbury from 3 years ago, so we're picking up maybe 1 to 2 homes a month now through the site. So, and I believe the referral system, the price is actually pretty good. The referral sort of cost. So we're pretty happy with it all so far.
Okay, so this is a big thing because you've told me off air, Aaron, one of the things that, and we're not going to mention competitors' names, but one of the things that you didn't like about the others is that they weren't capped. And particularly, you know, those of you that are joining on here in Sydney, just picture it. You pick up a listing lead, the fee is 40 grand. You're not paying 20% of 40 grand. What you pay, if I can confirm this, Warwick, you pay 4,750 plus GST. Am I right there?
Yeah, it's capped at that figure, Tom. So no one ever pays a higher referral fee than 4,750 plus GST, which is equivalent to a $1.2 million sale at 0.395% of the sale price, which is what the referral fee is. So for areas such as Sydney, Victoria, a lot of areas in Queensland and everywhere really, once you get to a price point of $1.2 million, then the referral fee does not rise after that point.
So the maximum that Aaron will pay is 4,750 plus GST,
That's
right?
correct.
So can I ask you, Aaron, when you get so I want to explain the process, but I want to explain it from the agent's point of view. How do you get a lead? Does it come to you by email or text?
Yeah, so I get a text message when it comes through in an email. So I can look at, if I'm not in the office, I'll grab the text message and I've got it. I'll call them straight away off that text message, which is great. So you know, they come 2 ways. One doing evaluation, my PA Maddie gets the lead quicker than me, or she'll do that. She'll text me saying I've rang, you know, one semester at summary, whatever it's going to be. So it comes up pretty quickly, and we try and jump on these pretty quickly too.
Okay. By the way, everyone, Aaron Hill, you are talking to $1 million agent as well. Aaron, what do you, and I'm so proud because I know that you've always had this thing in your head. You always used to tell me, I want to be $1 million agent. I want to be $1 million agent. And it was going on for years and years. And then all of a sudden, the last 2 years, it's happened the last 2 years, isn't it?
Yeah, probably 3 years in a row now, I've hit $1 million plus. So, well, I do sort of help a lot of my team though these days too. But yeah, I'm pretty comfortable where I'm sitting and just wanting my team, I suppose, better now and get more dominant in the Sunbury marketplace where we are at the moment.
Okay, so you know the leads that you get, do you suss out, like, are they calling, do you ever find out whether they're going to give you a call regardless because you're on your database or your brand or what have you?
It was a hard one. Look, some leads we've already got, and I speak to the guys at LAF and say, look, we've already got these guys in our database. They're pretty cool with that, which is great. But some of the ones we don't know about, I actually went to a home last week, actually, where I actually asked a vendor, we're in the top 3 offices in Sunbury these days. And I said to the vendor, would you have called us if we weren't on that list? And they said no. I said, why is that? Because we are one of the big companies here. And I said, look, we're just too busy. We pressed the link and they qualified the 3 agents came out and installed it. And we were lucky enough to be one of them. So in some respects, it's great to have because they wouldn't have called me in the first place. People are too busy these days. So I'm getting to more doors than what I would have. And the hot leads as well, which is one thing that I suppose I love to do.
Okay. Can I ask you, Warwick, how long have you been with Local Agent Finder yourself?
Yep. So I've been with Local Agent Finder, Tom, since 2008. So 16 years with Local Agent Finder now.
What's the history of Local Agent Finder and some key stats about the business?
I think for us, we have 1.8 million visitors annually, which is a number that's growing year on year. We feel, the agent network is in a really good space. They're really supportive of us as a business. We're able to provide them, as we said earlier, a number of opportunities to present to these homeowners. The thing that really stands us apart, I think, Tom, is that we don't want to be viewed as just a lead gen. We think we could partner with a lot of real estate agents to be able to help them with their growth. And one of the things we really concentrate on is trying to understand the agent's challenges in winning business through the website and investing time and effort into sitting with them to be able to understand what we can do to support them more, to drive better outcomes. And I think when you have a business model such as that, free for agents to join, we're able to provide you genuine opportunities where the quality is proven because the market listing rate is really good. And then you have an account management program that are willing to sit with real estate agents to understand what the challenges are in winning business through the website and offering solutions, whether it be through data or technology or insights, to help them get better outcomes and win more business. It puts us in a pretty good space, and it allows us to be able to help agents grow their businesses, whether they're a new office such as Aaron's or whether they're an established one that's still hoping to stay ahead of the competitors in their particular market. But we're really proud of the effort that our team puts in working with agents to drive really good outcomes for them.
Warwick, I get approached by companies regularly to do work with them due to my connection to real estate agents in Australia and New Zealand. By the way, that's one of the most exciting things. You're in New Zealand the other day. You are launching in New Zealand. You're at our web conference that we had there in Auckland. So for those of you that are here from New Zealand, Local Agent Finder is coming to New Zealand. But when you reached out to me about 9 months ago, Warwick, I remember saying to myself, this has to be one of the few businesses in Australia that actually works with real estate agents that only gets paid if they get paid. Like the majority of the products, you've got to spend money if you're an agent, and even if you don't get a result, you still paid the money. With Local Agent Finder, I can't express this any clearer. You only will pay Local Agent Finder if you make a sale and get a listing as a result of it. Otherwise, you're not paying. How does it work? I've always been curious about how do you work, how many, like does one agent get one suburb? They're on a list for one suburb. Is that how it works, or is it a few suburbs?
Yeah, any agent that registers on the website, Tom, creates a profile and they can nominate up to 5 postcodes that they service. Now, sometimes 5 postcodes may cover 10 suburbs. In some instances, it could cover a lot more. What there is, though, we won't present sort of 2 agents from the same office to one vendor. So we just need to make sure that if we have multiple registrations from an office, that everybody has different service areas. But you can nominate up to 5 postcodes that you service to be put forward in those particular areas. And as we said, it's free to register. And it's really interesting because, you know, obviously we're attracting a lot of vendors to the website that, as Aaron said, are a little bit time poor, that would love the opportunity to be able to be empowered through the data and insights that we have, whether that be just comparing local sales in the area from the agents, whether it be comparing commissions. And we just want to give back to the industry, and we want to give back to the agents. But we also just, again, I want to reiterate, we want to support them to be able to turn these opportunities into listings. With a pay on success model that we have, we really focus on the quality and working with the agent network to get them results.
Okay.
We've got a question, it's probably a good time. Is Local Agent Finder only available to agents who are already dominating the area? Or what about people who are not currently dominating the area? Is that suitable for them?
Absolutely, Susan. It's suitable for everybody. You know, there are areas through the whole of Australia where we might have 15 agents that service a particular suburb that are all registered for that particular suburb. Now, when a vendor comes through the service, they'll generally ask to speak to 3 real estate agents, and then we'll have an algorithm that'll decide which are the right real estate agents for them. But we also present everybody else as well that might not necessarily get that lead straight up. So we'll present them to the vendor in the vendor's dashboard, and the vendor can also see who else we have in addition to those 3 agents that service that area. And the vendor will also have the option to be able to exchange details with those agents themselves. So there's absolutely merit in anybody registering for a service area. You'll be put forward to every vendor in that suburb. It may not mean that you get all the phone numbers for everybody until you maybe build up a bit of market share or something like that, but you'll still get presented to the vendor who has the option to exchange details with you.
Okay. Now, the next thing I was going to ask you is right now, stock levels are going through the roof across Australia. If there was a time to be actually on the shopping list for Local Agent Finder leads, it is right now. So before we go any further, in case people drop off this webinar, can I ask you, what is the best way for people to just set up their, get registered with Local Agent Finder Warwick?
Yep. So you simply go to the website, Tom, www.localagentfinder.com.au. There's a little tab up the top right-hand corner that says, I am an agent. You can click that tab, create your registration. It should take you a matter of minutes to be able to do. Once it's fully complete and everything agreed to, we can get that active and turned around very quickly.
Okay, so Susan's actually just put in the URL, the same one, /Tom Panos. It doesn't matter, whichever one you use, go there. But bottom line is go there, get registered, because how long after they register are they on the system, Warwick?
Yeah, once the profile goes live, Tom, you'll be presented to vendors as soon as we have them in your nominated areas. And I must reiterate, there's absolutely no risk for a real estate agent to not register on the website. As we've said a couple of times, it's free to register. It's free to be presented to all vendors in your nominated area. The only time you'll ever pay is if you are successful in selling a property referred to you from Local Agent Finder and where you've made some money yourself. So from that perspective, there's no risk not to be a part of the service. Most of the competitors are probably. So you'd be doing yourself, a disservice if you're not registered and being a part of it yourself.
Is it used in property management?
Yeah, absolutely, Tom. Our property management and our landlords coming through the website are just as strong as our vendors that come through. We have many examples of agencies that have built really big rent rolls off the back of the Local Agent Finder referrals. To the fact there's a couple of individuals who I won't name, but there's one in WA and there's one in Victoria that have both leased over 500 properties through the service over the last 5 to 6 years. Now, that's an amazing asset to that particular agency, and they're continuing to grow that number. But what they've done is they've got the key to unlock success. So they've registered, they've been a part of the service, they've been meeting plenty of landlords, and they've now found a formula to be able to unlock success. And their conversions are probably 50 to 60% in those particular ranges, which is huge.
Okay.
I think it's frozen. Once that's going on, let me ask another question.
Sure.
On average, how many agents get the lead for the same property?
3 from LocalAgentFinder, it'll be 3. So when the vendor comes through that registration process, the vendor has the option to be able to decide how their details are distributed to real estate agents. If they're ready to speak to real estate agents, then 3 agents will get that lead. But also remembering that the others are still presented to a vendor, and the vendor may have, or the vendor does have the option to be able to exchange details with any other agents if they wish to do so. Some of them do, some of them don't. So in addition to that also, Susan, there are some people that come through that don't necessarily want to speak to a real estate agent straight away. In that instance, we'll present profiles of everybody we have that service the area, and then the vendor will control the exchange of details from there themselves.
And was there a feature that you had where there was exclusivity to own a specific postcode or area?
No, not from the core product point of view. We do have exclusivity for our prospecting tool, but from the core product point of view, nobody has exclusive rights or can pay to be able to push themselves up a preferential list as such.
Okay, so it's basically whoever contacts the vendor the fastest generally has the best advantage.
It'll have, if the vendor's come through and he's happy to speak to 3 agents, Susan, the algorithm will look at who we have that service that particular suburb, and it'll pick the 3 strongest agents that we have to represent us in putting forward to that particular vendor in that suburb.
Awesome. I'm just getting Tom to jump. I see he's calling me right now, so.
Yep. That's okay. Aaron, can also ask you, mate, one of the things that we really like to do is to be able to support, as we said earlier, our agents with an account manager to make sure that we're helping you unlock success. How have you found having Carrie to support you with some of the challenges that you have? Have you found that beneficial?
Yeah, good luck. Because I suppose his number on speed dial these days, but we're sort of half mates now, to be honest. We put up with Eric this year, and we sort of chat a bit. The good thing is we do have a property on our database as well, and one of my guys has been following that lead up over the last 6 months or 12 months, whatever it's going to be. We just have to send you guys back, but we're already dealing with this sort of company, these vendors, and you guys have been pretty good the whole time. Where no problem, Aaron. That's fine. We'll continue on our way to service that vendor, and we don't sort of we don't get charged for that either. Even if you give me that lead, we already got that. So I'm actually pretty comfortable with that sort of stuff. Some other companies will sort of still want to try and take that lead and get paid for that, but we're already dealing with these people. So you guys have been pretty amazing that way. Since we've sort of been dealing with you guys, which has been good.
No, awesome. I think it's also something that you touched on earlier in terms of the speed to be able to respond to the leads is really crucial. And glad to hear that, you have a setup where if you're busy, you've got somebody to be able to support you to make the calls. It's great that you get the SMS, you get the email as well. But if you don't have it, you can have the app as well, which gives you the notifications. So from that point of view, allowing agents to be able to access the leads instantly and respond straight away gives you certainly a big advantage over everybody else, which is great.
Yeah, 100%. I call it, we've got the leads you give me too. I've got a pipeline of them now, and it's on my second database. So I'm always going back and forth with these 2 databases too. So if you're not selling straight away, keep chasing. Like if I was a young agent, which I still am, I'm hoping I look young, but next if we keep chasing these leads, they're going to come on in the next 6 months anyway. So keep using them and keep ringing them and keep talking to these sort of leads as well, because they do come on. I've had to leave, and it's probably been 9 months, so I end up picking up 9 months later. So you've got to just do what you do best and just keep chasing these sort of people.
Yeah, that's a really good point as well. I think as an industry and even our business itself, we love those catch and kill where they would sort of register, get to an agent, get listed straight away, but they're not all like that, unfortunately. So having a process that allows you to be able to put them into the database and nurture them and really follow them up, I think stands you apart from a lot of others as well. And quite often you'll find that 3 to 6 months down the track, if you're still in contact with them, maybe the competition's dropped off and you start to list those unopposed down the track. So really glad to hear that you have that nurturing sort of support to be able to cater for those vendors as well.
I reckon the ones that are long term for me are better, because I end up getting most of those. The ones that are catch and kill, there's always 3 or maybe 4 agents going in, and so they're the ones everyone wants. But the ones that are long term for me, they're the ones I actually love the most because I'm going to be here for the next 10, 15 years. So the longer they are, the better they are for me. Because all the other agents around the area, like, they drop off, which is good for me.
Yeah,
But I love those
interesting.
ones.
No, awesome. And I think that when we talk to agents that have success through the website, such as yourself, there's a common theme there, right? Where they don't necessarily give up on them straight away, and if they haven't had a vendor answer on the first day, they haven't gone, crap lead and put in the bid sort of thing. They'll be more persistent, and then as time elapses, they start to list a lot of these unopposed, as you said, which is fantastic.
Yeah, definitely, mate. So yeah, it's been great so far, and I hope we can keep doing stuff together, and hope to see Kerry in my office pretty soon, actually.
Awesome. And just whilst we're waiting for Tom, how do you see the market over the next 3 months, mate? Do you have any expectations yourself, or how do you think?
Look, I'm not sure. We're a little bit different in this marketplace in Sunbury. We need more stock, so we're probably selling between 20 to 30 homes a month, and listing probably similar. So, but our traction of our marketplace, we do turn them over pretty quickly. We've got about 35 days on average. So look, we want more stock. So I know there's some other companies that I talk to the the group, which I'm at. It takes a lot longer to sell them, and number one, they've got a lot more stock. So we're one of those areas where we need the stock. So we do a lot of auctions as well. So we're sort of turning them over pretty good. So the average days on market will last about 30 odd days. So we need more stock, to be honest.
Awesome. Can also ask, mate, in terms of when I talk to agents sort of nationally around Local Agent Finder, and we're looking to acquire agents in particular suburbs, some of the kickback we get, or some of the feedback I get, is that Warwick, it's a little bit expensive. Although we appreciate what you do, although we sort of understand the opportunity as such, the fee we don't necessarily love or want to pay. But in terms of a sale for Local Agent Finder, Aaron, and then sort of we're having that board up with your sold sticker and maybe doing a sold drop, what would that normally equate to after you've made a sale for LAF? How many other doors might it get you into, and what might that equate to?
Good question. We've had a couple now where we've sold the home through you guys, and in the next month or so upcoming, is we might get into 2 or 3 more homes in that street because we've got a sticker on our board, and we listed one. It would have been 6 months ago now. We listed one with you guys, and next door came on the market, which we picked up, and again next door neighbour after that picked up. We've got one at the moment like that. So I think boards breed boards, and the more boards you've got up, no matter where you get them from, the better your opportunity or business is going to go. And my staff, they do stuff in your area through you guys as well in different suburbs, and Josh, one of my young guys, is picking up stuff in Gisborne and Clarkfield as well, actually, and different areas. I don't do too much in other areas, but my guys love it, and I say boards breed boards. I've always been taught that for 20 odd years in real estate. So the more boards you've got, the more referrals you get, the better your business will go down the track long term.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I remember speaking to Josh Teslin on one of these webinars with Tom as well, and he said exactly the same thing. And when you break out, having a cap on a referral fee, and then when you break out that, you'll go and work that particular area after your board goes up and your sold sticker goes up, and you do your just sold drop, etc. Then, if you're getting 2 or 3 listings off the back of the one lead, and then once you break it down and work out what the referral fee is, it works out to be a pretty cheap way to be able to help grow some market share.
Oh, definitely. Probably on average, our fees are probably about $3,000. Our market's about $650 is our average price here. So I think it's about $3,000 or so for the referral when we do sell it. But when we get to the homes that are $1 billion plus, as you know, it gets capped. We sold one the other night at $1.6 billion, and the fee was only just over $5,000. So it was good numbers, a good fee for one of my guys in the office, which is great.
Yeah, perfect. Tom's back.
Guys, I had 7 goes to get in. I don't know what happened, but I've missed the context of what you've been saying. However, I'm not going to stress on that. I just want to recap. To me, here are my key things. Firstly, Local Agent Finder is got 1 in 40 transactions are coming through Local Agent Finder. So think about the hundreds of thousands of listings that are out there that you can actually be doing an appraisal for. Number 2, the quality is significantly better than a lot of the price updates that you get with a lot of other referral sites. But more importantly, 2 out of 3 are coming on the market in 90 days. The third thing is, unlike many other of the referral sites, they will charge you 20%. So basically, if it's an expensive property, for instance, if you're watching here and you're in Sydney, and you know the fee is $100,000, right? You won't be paying $20,000. You'll be paying 4.5 roughly plus GST, right? It's capped at that. But to me, out of everything, the most important thing I've got out of this conversation, Warwick, is that you have zero to lose, because if you're on and you don't get a listing, you do not pay. You only pay. And for me, why is this important? Because one of the best agents in all of Australia, who's part of the Ray White Group, said to me, Tom, I'd even be paying, if I had to, 50% referral fee. I go, why is that? And he goes, why? Because listings get listings. The market gets the market. That's the reason why. It's not just getting that listing. It's the fact that that signboard is going to get you another listing, another sale, and we all know that we are in the momentum game. I want to apologise for those of you for the drop-off that I had on the tech side, but I presume that was adequately covered because you guys were able to commute. Aaron, thank you so much.
See you tomorrow.
I will see you tomorrow. I'm not seeing you tomorrow. I'm seeing you on Thursday, aren't
Sorry,
I?
I apologise. Thursday. That's right, Thursday.
And Warwick, I will also see you on Thursday. And by the way, everyone, they've got a prospecting tool. It wasn't on the agenda today, but imagine being able to find out within 25 properties that someone has actually asked to get an appraisal done. If you want to talk about having prospecting that's targeted instead of spray and pray, use the prospecting tool. Any final words on that prospecting tool, by the way, Warwick?
No, other than Tom, it's been around for sort of 4 or 5 years now. We have a number of agents that have so much success with the prospecting tool. It's refined their prospecting activity. And not only are they finding properties of ours that are in our prospecting tool, they're finding other listings from being out there and doing some door knocking, doing some letterbox drops. So it has so many advantages. It's cheap. And if you sell a property through the prospecting tool, there are no referral fees at all, Tom. So if you're a new agent, or if you're a new agency, or if you're just somebody that has a large database that you might be able to run these sort of streets and addresses through, you'll find that you might have some of these as contacts, which will make the whole process easy and fast for you. It's a no-brainer, the prospecting tool as well, Tom.
All right, beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for joining on. Those on social media, thank you so much for your attention. Again, this has been the Real Estate Gym in conjunction with Local Agent Finder, sharing with you ways that you can actually get more listings and make more sales. Thank you so much. Signing off, everyone. See you, Aaron.